Now let's head on to Ohio, United States, where being in a foreign country does not mean that a Muslim should quit all Islamic rituals, including fasting in Ramadan. To know more about activities of Indonesian Muslims staying or living abroad, we will talk with Zulhafis, also known as Aska, from Ohio. So let's talk to Aska. Aska, hello there. Where are you in the world at the moment, and how's the weather there, and what time is it right there, Aska?
Hi, how's it going, guys? It's good to be back. I feel nervous actually right now, frankly speaking, but yeah, it's good to be back, seeing Eda and Louisa. Well, I'm currently in Ohio, the state of Ohio, in particular in Dayton City. So I'm currently studying here. I am a new media major at the Sinclair College in Dayton, Ohio. So yeah, and the weather, I forgot. So we're currently in the transition of winter to spring season. So it's good, but it's not that frosty because previously it's a little frosty. But currently, I mean, the weather's still cold. I think tonight it's 7 degrees Celsius right now
Wow,
outside.
that's pretty
Yeah.
cold. Aska, I've never been to Ohio in my life, so I really have no clue what it's like, what Ohio is like. Can you please help us picture it, what it's like to be living in Ohio?
That's a great question. Well, we've been told here since we got here. I think a lot of Americans know, a lot of people here know that Ohio, it's pretty weird in terms of weather. So like you will experience like in a day in Ohio, you'll experience 4 seasons all at once in a day. So that what makes Ohio a little unique compared to any other states here in the United States of America, because Ohio, you cannot tell, even though like the what is it, the weather forecast says that okay, today will be sunny, but you'll experience some different you can expect as what it is that from the weather forecast. So it's pretty weird here, the weather especially.
Wow, you experienced 4 seasons in a day? That is crazy, Aska. We can
In
see
the,
from the
in the day,
visualizers.
you'll experience the day. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes, we can see from the visualizers. It's winter to spring. Yes, as you mentioned, it has a grayish, bluish, and yellowish, and also the trees are falling out of their leaves at the moment. We see it from the visualizers, and we would like to know,
Yeah.
Aska, how many long hours have you been fasting in a day there in Ohio, United States of America?
Uh, we started fasting at around 6:30 in the morning, and then we break the fast at around now. I think tonight it's 7:54, so it's almost like 8 at night. Like the sun will set at around 8, but approximately I can tell it's like 14 hours of fasting here.
Mm. Now, Aska, is this your first time fasting in the States? And tell us how is your experience so far fasting in another country in America?
Yeah, I mean, this is my very first time here in the States, and also I'm observing my very first time Ramadan or fasting here outside Indonesia. So the experience has truly like provided me with many new perspectives on observing the fast, especially. I think one thing that I can remember is uh, the experience. I think the dehydration. So,
Mm.
for example, here, luckily that the Ramadan starts during the transition between winter to the spring season, so it's not that hot. I mean, so I couldn't feel um, dehydrated. So like the weather has a very different impact here. Like the what is it? The weather is not too hot, and I feel more comfortable and less affected by dehydration or thirst. For example, the fasting in Indonesia, my experience was pretty. I would say it's a little bit challenging when fasting in Indonesia because the weather is very scorching compared to here. So I'm lucky that I don't get to experience the third the dehydration. The here, I mean, even though I did not get my sahur meal or pre-dawn meal, I still can survive until the very end or to break the fast.
Okay, Aska, since you mentioned about today you have been doing your sahur and also you already break your fast, what menu do you have for sahur and to break your fast today? Can you elaborate that for us, please?
Yeah, well, I just got my what is it, iftar earlier, I think a couple minutes ago, because I just did a with my friends here. I have my Indonesian fellows here with me, and I think I actually forgot I had a beef sort of thing, beef and then the what is it called actually, like the sambal and then mixed vegetables. And then we do have sambals that we got from Asian stores. So unfortunately, I couldn't find any Indonesian sambal here. But well, they do have here. But at the Asian store, it's pretty challenging for me to kind of find Indonesian sambal.
I can imagine.
So
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, it must
yeah.
be
What was it?
more challenging to find Indonesian food to break your fast. Whilst here, you can always find it, even on the
Yeah,
streets.
the
They
streets, yeah.
sell it everywhere on the streets. Um,
You know
ask.
what?
Go ahead.
What's funny is I found out that there are what is it, instant recipes or instant spices from Indonesia. One of the brands from like a very well-known brands from Indonesia. But I found out on a different stall. Like it's not like they said it's not from Indonesia. It's like on Malaysian stall. You know what I mean? I was like, what?
Ah.
It's from Indonesia. It's not from Malaysia. Like, yeah, I think I found it very funny or interesting for me because they put the Indonesian brand recipe or spices on the Malaysian stall, so it's in the Asian or international store. Yeah.
Aska, I wonder, I mean, like you mentioned just now that the weather there have helped you to fast throughout, for these 2 weeks. But I wonder, I mean, not being in Indonesia, not having your support system, here we still feel the vibe very much of, having to break our fast together, fasting together, while there, I wonder, like, what it's like. Like, do you have a big support system there? Is there a big Indonesian community also doing their fasting around you? How is that? How is it like? Can you tell us?
Yeah, and here in the city where I live currently, it's very rare to find Indonesians. I mean, my coordinator like on campus said that I think we're the only Indonesian students here in Dayton, but I believe in Columbus and Cincinnati there are a lot of Indonesian community. But talking about fasting here in Dayton, I feel like even though like I'm away from Indonesia, where we have family gatherings with friends, and then kind of they called bukber and then ngabuburit. But here, I feel during Ramadan in the States, I also have the opportunity to like interact with Muslim from various other countries. So this is I take this as a very valuable experience for me to like learn, so that way I could learn more about Ramadan traditions and cultures from diverse perspectives, like sharing experiences and stories with fellow Muslims from different backgrounds. Also, kind of, I would say, enriches my understanding of the true meaning of Ramadan as a blessed month, especially. But yeah, the community, I can still feel. At the beginning, I would say, at the beginning, it's a little rough because you get used to it, to a very festive Ramadan festivity, right? But here in the States, nothing here on the street, nothing. Like on the first day, we felt that it's not Ramadan. It feels like a usual day. Like there's nothing on the street. There's nothing related to Ramadan festivities. So it kind of feels. I think it kind of got us homesick from uh, from having the experience, like not really what we got when we're in Indonesia. But then another experience that I mentioned earlier is that to kind of learn the cultures. Like I believe here there's a lot of culture shocks too. Even though I go to like I would say like mosques hopping. So like I go to like several mosques here in Dayton, Ohio, but I kind of experience a lot of culture shocks too because there's a lot of different traditions with what uh, from what I know compared to Indonesia, but it's really fascinating and interesting to kind of learn with other communities, especially with other Muslim communities here. So with that being said, I don't have I think it's sad you don't have many Indonesian community, but it's just another, I would say, there's another feeling that you find another Muslim communities. So it's a great opportunity to kind of learn or growth as an individual, I would say.
A great experience, and definitely, it's a good exposure for you. Yeah.
Yes. Good exposure and good learning experience. Now, Aska, since you mentioned about you are the only student from Indonesia there in Dayton, Ohio, and this is your first time fasting or having Ramadan there in Ohio, we would like to know the reaction from your peers who are not fasting, and your peers known you from Indonesia and celebrating Ramadan here in Indonesia. Do they know about this fasting rituals? Do you have to explain it to them? Do they care, or
Like what's the tolerance?
What is the tolerance? Yes.
Like, yeah.
I feel like it's a so I think last week I had a conversation during my class with my some of the international students. So it's the topic about Ramadan kind of brought to our class, our discussion. So some people, they said, I mean, I would say it's some people, they kind of said that okay, they know Ramadan, it's a Muslim tradition where they fast, but then it kind of a ritual to kind of get closer to God. And then, but there's a saying here, not saying actually. So I think I found that there's a meme even because a lot of people here in the States, they don't really know what Ramadan is. So when they only know we're fasting, but there's a saying from them like, not even water. So like they thought that we are fasting, but we can still drink. So when they found out that we can't drink, we can't eat nothing during from the sunrise to sunset, we can't do like food, or we can't eat and drink. But then there's always a meme about not even drink, not even water. So it's pretty interesting to kind of tell or like explain to them that what Ramadan really is. So I would say it's a really great opportunity for us as Muslim to kind of explain it very, I would say, frequent, because they don't know, like they just know very fair. So not really like not much about Ramadan. But the tolerancy, I would say, it's also, I don't know in other parts of the States, but here I experienced a lot of support and then tolerance. So I'm glad that the community here is very mindful, and also those who are not observing Ramadan or are fasting were really supported, especially at the apartment. I have my my friend from Côte d'Ivoire. So he doesn't observe Ramadan, but then he supports us in a way that, you know, he doesn't eat in front of us, doesn't drink, he doesn't drink in front of us. And kind of that kind of support really hits different. So it's really, I would say it's really fascinating to experience a lot of difference. I know in Indonesia, there's a lot of cultures and diversity as well, but then here in the States, I think it's beyond diverse. So it's really great.
Beyond diverse.
Beyond diverse.
Aska, tell us, is there any, like, I know you mentioned just now that the Indonesian community is very, very limited there, but there is a big Muslim community from a lot of countries. Is there any gathering, a daily gathering to break your fast together in university, anything like that?
Yes, exactly. You know, I think this is really interesting. What makes me happy here in observing fasting here in the U.S. because I think I would say I ate a lot of dates here compared to compared to when I was in Indonesia. Yeah. So I used to go to the mosque with my friend where we're sort of like mosque hopping, kind of, you know, every day, kind of moving to another mosque to kind of experience different experiences. So they do have daily iftar here, and then every day, I mean, most of the day, I mean, mostly every day I go to mosque to kind of for the to break the fast with some of my international students and some of my Indonesian fellows here. But then when we headed to the mosque, I mean, I think last Friday, we headed to the mosque where they've got this awesome spread with dates and then milk and then fruits, salad. I really like the salad, and then a proper dinner, like a whole meal. They provided that to us. It's like a mini feast, So it's sort of like a sharing it with everyone feels. I think here in the United States, the Muslim community is really like I can feel this what is it, the bond between other Muslims here, because we are here. I think in Indonesia, I would say predominantly we're Muslims, but here it's totally different world. So I kind of feel the connection, the bonding between other Muslims here, especially when they share meal with others. Everyone feels pretty special, and then a lot of food every daily iftar here. So as an international student, you live at the apartment, going to mosque to break the fast or iftar, sort of, I would say that gives me a great feeling, because you don't need to cook, you don't need to kind of prepare for the iftar, because at the mosque, you can find or you can eat a lot of food, and then definitely they are amazing, they are delicious, especially the dates and then the salad, fruit salad.
Especially the dates.
Oh, stop with the food, Aska. We're still fasting right
here compared to Indonesia, when I was in Indonesia.
Okay.
It must be better there. Maybe they have like more juicy dates.
Exactly. The dates. It's called, I think, majol dates. So it's so meaty, and then it's so good. It's so good.
And of course, the weather helps. You know, when it's a bit chilly, every food is like tastes better.
Majol dates it is.
Well, Aska, it seems like you have really enjoyed your experience there living in US. Do you have any messages you'd like to share to your friends or family here in Indonesia?
Go ahead.
Well, there are many things I miss about fasting experiences in Indonesia, I would say, especially the moments of hanging out with friends and then family. But on the other hand, I have also learned a lot of things from fasting experiences here in the States. I learned to be more, grateful for the grateful for the small blessings given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then to be more open to be, to the various ways people observe Ramadan or observe their worship here. And all of this has been a very valuable experience during Ramadan fasting in the United States. So I would like to wish a very Ramadan Mubarak to those who are observing fasting. I just can't wait to be back in Indonesia, definitely, especially, meeting friends, family, and then kind of giving back to the community in Indonesia.
All right, thank you for the lovely messages right there, Aska. We miss you right here in TVRI World. So have a great day in Dayton, Ohio, and happy fasting. And of course, happy Eid al-Fitr in 2 more weeks. Thank you for talking to us, Aska. We'll be continuing our starting point right here on TVRI World. Goodbye, Aska.
Thank you so much. See you guys.
Thank you, Aska.